Well, there are a lot of things that stirs up. In other words, does it make you feel empowered or disempowered? It makes you worry that others have power over you. And it makes you feel that you'd better conform, doesn't it? In other words, you better not get too far out there, because if you get too far out there, someone might misunderstand and make trouble for you, or not accept you, or not like you, or not allow you, or let you into the right club, or into the right heaven, or whatever. And then some of you are born who have seen societies moving further and further away from personal individual guidance, from personal individual fulfillment of reason for being. And so you're born with stronger than ever intention that this time they're not going to cause you to conform. And so you're just way, 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 way out there. Impossible to conform. Sometimes you are born with what you call birth defects, where your mind just doesn't function in the same way, so they have to allow you to be different. Sometimes you're born with other physical disabilities where they just have to allow you to be different, because you come forth so determined that you are going to express in a powerful way your understanding of the value of diversity. You live in a world that's almost gone mad with the idea of sameness. Let's take all the ideas that exist and whittle them down to just a few good ideas. People on the other side of the world having other religions, another way of looking at things. And so you try to persuade them, and then you condemn them. And then if they don't listen and will not listen to your conversions, then you drop bombs on them. In other words, there is such a sort of physical sickness that comes from believing that there are only a few good ideas, and that your good ideas will be threatened if the rest do not join them. Even if a lot of you become those who are wanting to make the world conform, you are bucking a current that you cannot buck, because you live in a universe that is based upon diversity. It's based upon difference. It's an expanding universe, not a shrinking universe. So you never need to worry, because new ones are being born every day. They're being born with a stronger understanding. Those that are old and stuck in their ways are croaking and going out the other end. So the dilution ratio always stays in this healthy place where you do not need to worry about it, you see. There is not anything to worry about. But if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would be taking pride in our renegade nature of difference. And we would try never again to conform. And we would reach this powerful place where we never again try to modify our behavior based upon appealing to someone else's impression of how we should behave. We would say to anyone who is willing to listen, I love you, but I do not give a rip what you want me to do. I'm following my own guidance system. It's a loud, clear message. I've been launching rockets of desire. Who I was before I was born and who I have even further become is now calling me with a very loud signal. I can hear the signal calling me. It feels like joy. It feels like love. It feels like passion. It feels like adoration. It feels like fulfillment. It feels like exhilaration. It feels like vitality. It feels like clarity. And when it calls me, I always try to lean in that direction. And every now and again I get swept up in what others want, and I find myself feeling a little less free, and I find myself forking off in the direction that makes me feel like fear or even resentment or even anger. But now I'm aware of my guidance system. I can tell which way is the right way for me to go. So you can all out there in the peanut gallery beat your drum. You can make your laws. You can make every decision of the world about how you think I should be, but I am finally being the one I've come to be. I'm following my own bliss. I'm listening to the beat of the energy that flows forth from within me, and it never tells me wrong. And as more and more and more are doing that, those who come forth understanding that will begin to relax. Fewer will get suppressed where it squirts out in multiple personalities or whatever those diagnoses are that they're wanting to give. And more and more of you will be living your life in the joyful way that you've come forth to live it. Not one of you said, I'll go forth and I'll figure out what everybody's doing and then I'll conform to what they're doing. Not one of you said that. You said, I'll go forth and I'll appreciate their conformity because it will give me a platform from which to launch my intentions, but I'm going to put my 2 cents worth in pretty darn fast as soon as I get there. So I'll be born into an environment where they'll feed me and I'll be stable, and then I'll figure out as quickly as I can what I want from there, and I know this source will agree with me and give me the circumstance and its events to fulfill it, and I'll do my best to stay true to the dream that is born within me. And when I go to the therapist that said, you should not dream, you should face reality, I'll stand up and with all of the fervor of my being, I'll say, we are eternally evolving. We cannot stand still. Please do not ask me to focus upon what is. Let me focus upon what can be. We get a little worked up on that because it is what all of you intended as you came forth into these bodies, you see. Not one of you intended to be suppressed. You all intended to find your path and let your light shine in your unique way. And as you compare yourself with each other, you lose track of what way is your way. But as you listen to the way you feel, as you listen to your gut, then you can tell what way is your way. And we've never known anyone who was ever happy, not even a little happy, doing something that somebody else wanted them to do. If you're not satisfying your own dreams, you're on the wrong track. You must follow your dream. You cannot be a cog in the wheel of somebody else's dream. The universe will support you. Find your dream and follow it. And tell everyone else to buzz off. Yes. Yes.